So we're going to do a little exploring of Bob Weir's approach during the jam and playing in the band. We're going to start real simple and then work our way up and get to that one thing that really kind of brings it all together, gives us that real sound that takes it real far out there. But first, let's explore the D Dorian mode. It's not just for soloing, it's not just for Jerry to be ripping those leads. It is just as much how we can build chords and how Bob builds his chords. So let's just give a quick listen to me just focusing on playing anything in the D Dorian mode, and I'll talk a little more about it. So I'm playing right around here and I'm not even thinking about chords at all. I'm just exploring. And that's really the first kind of mindset we gotta have here, you know, playing. You're grateful to have music and just jam music in general, but especially during a jam like this that's very, very free kind of sounding, is we don't want to be just playing chords or playing anything that we even know too well. We want to kind of explore around. This is a great opportunity. So I'm just playing around here. So I urge you to take anywhere, you know, just pick a spot, you know, up here and just play any combination. You can even separate things and get some weird sounds. So that's going to give you a good foundation of just really freeing things up and using, you know, your ears. So the second thing that I hear Bob do a lot is he uses triads, in a particular F and G. So let's give a quick listen to me stressing just F and G. We'll hear how that sounds. So it's not necessarily have to be just triads, but kind of focusing on these different chords that are in the mode. And it doesn't have to even be just F and G. It can be any of the chords in this mode. So again, if we're in D Dorian, you can think of it also as C major because they share the same key signature. And in these, the chords in this key would be D minor. It would actually be the one chord instead of it being the two like it normally is in C. D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B diminished, a really weird one, and then C would be the 7. And we can use any of those. So keep in mind, any of those triads, any of those chords, any pieces of them are all going to work and sound pretty good for this, because again, we can do a lot of things in this that maybe sound a little harsh normally, but work great in this kind of situation. But I hear him playing a lot of F and G. They work really well because F against the D note ends up giving you a D minor 7 sound, and then G jazzes it up even more, and it's very easy because it's just 2 frets away. So if we just take any of these, this helps you really get to know your triads better. These all work really well. And then on these strings, and of course you could go even higher if you wanted to. And it's a great way to get very melodic. You know, say if you were anywhere, right, say right here, you go like this, and then you do the next ones over here. You don't have to move far at all. And you end up hearing that little melody. You can continue down. If you get thorough with this, you can start moving all over the place. And again, one of the reasons that works really well is that 2 fret kind of rule between these chords, F and G. It makes it really easy to get smooth around, but you don't have to necessarily go straight up too. You don't have to go, once you get, practice that way if this is new to you, but once you get comfortable with it, start maybe doing some exercises like that, jumping around, but start moving around, and that'll really free some things up. So now let's listen to the last thing here, and this is using a thing called Quartal harmony. So let's listen to it first, and I'll talk about what's going on. So this is the sound that really opens it up. And Bob would do this a lot for jams that he wanted to open up a sound. And I recently read somewhere that he was quoted saying he really was inspired by McCoy Tyner's piano playing. He was a big jazz player, mostly around the 60s and 50s too. And it's funny because I used to study McCoy Tyner's playing a lot too. And I always thought Bob had a similar approach. So it's cool to know that he actually, was inspired and studied his playing as well. So I'll probably make some videos at some point looking at McCoy Tyner's playing and how it can apply to guitar, and even specifically how it applies to Bob's playing. But this is one of those things. So it's playing chords, instead of it normally stacked up the normal way, looking more at things called fourths. So looking at just the intervals between the notes in the chord. So like right here is a fourth, and if we play this, different shape here because of the strings tuned differently. Same thing though, fourth. So those three in a row, that gives you a quartal sound. And there's other sounds too. He does a lot of things called quintal with fifths and seconds and things too. But just to keep it simple for this video, we're gonna look at just the fourths. So also to keep it simple, we're not gonna go really thorough with the mode, but just these spots with these same shapes. And you can hear, whoa, that starts to really take it out. And then on these strings here, and that stuff really takes it out because the intervals are all fourths, and it gives you this really spacey sound. So it's a way of getting very spacey without having to like throw on a ton of effects, a lot of delay and things like that, which I like about Bob's playing. He played clean, most of the time stuff. He just took really shaped things musically, how he approached the guitar, not with just using effects all the time. So yeah, that's a great thing to try out. Yeah, just get used to that and then try weaving it all together. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of just messing around with the mode and that stuff. And those are just 3 ideas. We could do a whole lot more, but there is so much you can do with just those 3. You could spend a lifetime studying, each of those things. So if you're looking for the PDF that has all the charts from this video and everything else that I've put out, plus MP3s of backing tracks and a lot more, consider checking out my Patreon page. I'll put a link in the description down below. Anything that you can do to support will help this channel not only keep going, but help growing. And I've been putting a lot of time and even money into hiring musicians to make these backing tracks. And I got a lot more in store. So far, it's been just me and a keyboardist I've been hiring recently, but I've got a lot more stuff with drummers and mandolin players and stuff that will be coming out in the future later on this year. So again, consider checking out the link to the Patreon page. You get a lot of access to things that are only available to patrons. And if you have your guitar with you right now and you want to play along with the backing track, consider checking out this right here. You got it right there, everything without Bob's part, so you can try this stuff out yourself. And I'll hopefully see you in the next video. Have fun.